able to fine people for splitting or, and forgive me, urinating for the incredibly self-referential reason that I was on Question Time with her a couple of years ago. I hadn't heard of her before, and I'll tell you a secret about her actually. Why not? She's the one that said you can tell how poor people are by how fat they are. I wouldn't trust everything she said, because when we were on Question Time together, she talked about being a Nottingham Forest fan. That's where her constituency is. So I asked her afterwards a question designed to establish whether or not she knew that Nottingham Forest were actually playing that night in the Championship playoffs. And she didn't. So she can't have been that big a fan, but it would have played well with the voters in Nottingham. But you remember she said you can tell how poor someone is by how fat they are. It turns out that middle-class children are more likely to be fatter than their poorer classmates. I mention this not because we're going to talk about it now, but because when we did talk about Anna Soubry's comments, we took a call from a fella, I think, in Manchester, who was absolutely livid at the suggestion that if you were poor, you were more likely to be fat, on the, well, in retrospect, perfectly reasonable grounds that his children were hungry. And if you're listening, mate, I'd just like to apologise to you for that, because I bombarded I might be wrong about this as well. In fact, in the course of the last 5 minutes after 12, the course of the last 5.5 hours, I might have changed my mind. You just heard that lovely clip in the news from Waltham Forest where a councillor was describing how they think they might be able to fine people for splitting or, and forgive me, urinating. Do you want to hear it? Actually, just in case you weren't paying attention. If you weren't paying attention, I think that's an appalling abuse of Sam Pittis' professionalism. He doesn't come here to read the news headlines.